Hello, right, this one is a very short lesson, number 18, and it's all to do with sectors. We'll work out what a sector is in a minute. Okay, so first of all, we'll remind ourselves about how to work out the area of a circle. Okay, so the area of a circle is pi r squared. So for example, if this one is 10 centimeters, now this is the radius, and this is the radius in the formula. So pi, so first of all we do it in terms of pi. So this will be the area equals pi times r squared, which is 10 squared. 10 squared, 10 times 10 is 100, so that will be 100 pi centimeters squared. Now if you're working this out to a decimal, it will be using the pi button on your calculator, shift pi times 100 will be equal to 314.16 to 2 decimal places centimeters squared. So there we are. So that's how to work out the area of a circle. Nice and easy. Pi r squared, either in terms of pi, and you don't have to work anything out really, and in decimal places, this, use the calculator. Right, so the next thing is, how do we work out a part of a circle? So we'll draw a circle and we'll make this into half a circle as near as I can. So we have a semicircle and we'll excuse me, let's just move up a little bit. So this is 14 centimeters. So from there to there is 14 centimeters. Now, we're still going to use pi r squared. But this time, because we only want a half a circle, um, let's divide the whole thing by 2. Yeah? Okay, so the 14 is the diameter, so this is going to be pi 7 squared times 7 squared divided by 2, which is pi times 49 divided by 2. I'm going to do everything to decimals from now on. So shift pi times 49 divided by 2, which is 76.97, equals 76.97 centimeters squared. Right, so we just use the same formula and divide by 2, sorry. Now, as you probably know, dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by a half. Yeah, so we could have done this, the area equals pi r squared times a half. Yeah, it would have been exactly the same. Yeah, because when you times by a half, you're timesing by 0.5, which is the same as dividing by 2. Now, this is brilliant for these kind of circles, so let's do a quarter of a circle and see where we go with that. Hopefully these meet up somewhere in the middle. Bit wonky, but you get the idea. So we've got a quarter of a circle with a right angle in there, and this, because this is a quarter of a circle, imagine the circle all the way around before I rubbed it out. This will be the center. So if we have this will be the radius, yeah? So the area of this is either going to be pi r squared divided by 4 because it's a quarter, or area equals pi r squared times a quarter, which is pi times 12 squared times a quarter, which is 144, isn't it? So again, shift pi on the calculator, times 144 times a quarter is 0.25. Now there, 0.25, I could have just times it by 1, divide by 4, it would come up the same way, equals 36 pi, 113, 113, yeah, centimeters squared. So even that quarter, when you're putting it in the calculator, you can, that is 0.25. If you can't remember that, then just multiply by 1 and divide by 4. It comes out the same thing. Now these are all right for halves and quarters, but a sector is neither of those. Although this is a sector, this is an easy sector to be doing with. It's a nice factor of the whole circle. Now, for a sector, we got something like this. There. That sort of triangular shape there is a sector. And we can work out areas of sector. And let's give an angle in the middle there, 60. And 10. So there's the radius. So working out the area of this. Now, again, remember to use pi r squared. Now this will be for the whole of the circle. Now we're going to work out a fractional amount of the circle like we did before with halves and quarters and things. But this time we've got to remember that there are 360 degrees in a circle, and so this is part of that 360 degrees, which is 60 out of 360. So working out a sector is always exactly the same, but this number determines what goes there. If this is 50, 40, 30, 73, 80, 90, 100, 90, yeah, 90 over 360, yeah, can be simplified to a quarter. So that's where we get the quarter. We're just using it out of 360. So this calculator, and you can do it all in one go, no need to do bits and bits. So you've got pi times r squared, which is 10 squared times 60 divided by 360 equals, and that will be 53.36 centimeters squared. So this, there's no need to simplify this because you're doing it with a calculator. This is 1 over 6, but it doesn't make any difference. You may as well just use the numbers that are in the circle. So I'll give you one more example. This is a very short lesson because we were going through a past paper. So let's do another one example, and we'll do an example where it's even more than 90, something like that. So let's do 8 centimeters for the radius. So that's 8 over there. And what do you reckon this angle is? 180. Oh, Call it 135. Make it really awkward. It's not difficult. So the area of this sector is the area equals pi r squared times 135 over 360. That's it. It's no more complicated than that. So that will equal pi times 8 squared is 64 times 135 over 360. And let's do that. Pi times 64 times 135 divided by 360 is 75.4, we call it 75.4 centimeters squared to 1 decimal place. And this is an opportunity for them to ask you to round things to a certain number of decimal places. So there you are, that's all you do. And that was a very short one, so we'll call that the end of lesson 18.